Alright, fishy folks, and happy Sunday fun day to you. Guys, today's video is going to be about how many fish you can put in a tank. I get this question every week at least. How many guppies can I put in a 10-gallon? How many guppies can I put in a 20-gallon? How many mollies can I put in a 10-gallon? And it's not an easy question to answer. There are many variables. Do yourself a favor, grab a snack and a beverage, perhaps a pen and a paper, because you might want to take some notes as I drop some knowledge on how many fish you can put in a fish tank. Stand by. Alright, fishy folks, let's get into the details here. The question is, how many guppies can I put in a 10-gallon tank? And that question, if you asked at PetSmart or Petco, might go something like this. Excuse me, sir, knowledgeable employee of the big box pet store, how many guppies can I put in a 10-gallon tank? Well, son, you see, the rule is 1 inch per gallon. So therefore, if I do my math correctly, if you have 10 1-inch fish, you could have 10 guppies in a 10-gallon tank. Guppies are about a 1-inch fish. I hope that helps. Here's all the stuff you need. Please come back in 3 days when all your fish die. That's exactly what would happen. The fact is that question is very difficult to answer. There are so many variables. The most important variable is how often do you want to change water? And here's why. Now it's very complicated, but I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible because I'm just a dumb guy with a camera. I like simple things. The first thing you need to know is at what nitrate level do you want to change water? Right? Because people are like, oh, I change 50% once a week. Why? Why do you change that much water in that time frame? Most people don't know. The fact is we change water in our fish tanks for the most part to get rid of nitrates. The cycle takes care of ammonia and nitrites, doesn't do anything with nitrates. So at what nitrate level do you want to change water and how much to lower that nitrate level? So let's again try to make it easy. Let's say your predetermined level is 40 parts per million of nitrate. Now, when you look at the API test sheet, the card for nitrate, 40 parts per million is red, 20 parts per million is lighter red, 60 parts per million is darker red. But I can't tell the difference, so we're just gonna go with red, right? Not dark red, red. So you have 10 guppies in a moderately planted 10-gallon tank you feed once a day. Maybe you have a pleco in there or a couple of cories or something. And after about a week, your nitrate level went from 0 to 20%. Sorry, 20 parts per million. So you test your water, you don't want to change, boom, you go another week. Now it's at 40 parts per million after 2 weeks. So you decide you're going to do a 50% water change. If I've done my math correctly, theoretically your nitrates should go down 20 parts per million to 20 parts per million. That's in your acceptable range. You wait another week, you test your water, guess what? 40 parts per million. Now you change 50% water. You wait a couple days, you keep checking, and at the point where your nitrates reach 40 parts per million, let's say it takes a week, boom, you change your water. This is how I try to explain to people on how many fish you can keep in a tank based on the nitrate level. A predetermined nitrate level that you feel is comfortable for your fish. Maybe you have a little bit more sensitive fish and you want to change it at 20 parts per million. Maybe you think fish are tougher than we all give them credit for and you say 60, 80 parts per million, no problem. Now, I mentioned other variables. The variables are how many live plants you have, what amount and type of filtration you have. Why? Well, you have to make sure that whatever filtration you have for beneficial bacteria has enough surface area and enough colonization to actually convert the ammonia to nitrate and then the nitrate to nitrate, right? So if your beneficial bacteria colony isn't big enough to do that, your cycle is going to crash and you're going to lose fish no matter when you change water, unless you do it very often. Does that make sense? So if your bio load is If your bioload matches your beneficial bacteria, then however much ammonia they produce in 24 hours gets converted to nitrite, and then that nitrite then gets converted to nitrate. And then you have 0, 0, and whatever your nitrite traits are, right? Okay. I know this is confusing. I'm trying to explain it simply. As simple as possible. Another factor is how much food do you feed and what kind of food. And what you say what kind of food, but more high quality food gets more easily digested, so there's less waste. Even when they poop, there's less waste, right? So let's say you're feeding a good high quality flake like Northfin flake food that you buy at supercichlids.com, link down below. And you feed enough where they eat all the food in 1 minute. Whatever the package says, I don't even know. That's kind of a thing, right? That's good. That food will be easily digested. There will be less waste when they're done pooping. And there's no food left on the bottom. But if you feed 3 times a day and you're dumping so much in there the water gets cloudy, your parameters, your water parameters, ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, are going to go all wacky, and you're going to lose fish. So now we have how much water do you want to change, what kind of filtration you have, and how much and what food you have. See? Many, many variables. And this can go all over. Let's just say you have plecos and you feed algae wafers. Now those algae wafers, they might not eat right away because you dropped that algae wafer in at 8 o'clock in the morning before you went to work. Then the light stays on all day, and then you come home and that algae wafer is still there, but kind of dissolved. Now that's started to work on the ammonia, right? That's waste that's gonna maybe spike your parameter. So not only how much you feed, not only what you feed, but when you feed and the type of fish you have. See how many variables there are? This is why it's not an easy question to answer. And I get this question a lot. You know, I have a 20-gallon tank. How many guppies can I have? It's not that easy. Let's talk about live bearers, right? Let's say you have 10 guppies in a 10-gallon tank. It's well filtered. You change 50% water every week. You have lots of plants. Everything is great. In 28 days, you might have 45 fish because, boom, a female gave birth. Now what do? Well, now you want to feed those babies to get them to grow so you can give them away or sell them or give them to your local fish store in trade so you can buy more really good fish food. Now you're overfeeding. Now you have to pay attention. I'm overfeeding. I have to check my parameters more, or I just have to know I have to change more water more frequently, or just the same amount of water more frequently. This is why it's a difficult question. How many guppies can I put in a 10-gallon tank? The easy answer would be 10. You know, like the pet store guy, he could just say 10. That's not me. I'll never answer that because that's the easy answer that's not always accurate. Couple other things you have to be wary of with your fish tank about how many fish you can put. Guppies are easy because they're small, they poop a little bit, but you know, if you had a lot of plecos, that's way different because they poop way more, and that would raise your nitrate level faster. So, you know, I have, in a 20-gallon tank, I have 70 plecos, maybe 5 adults and the rest juveniles and fry. But my tanks get 10% water change daily, and most of them have plants in them. Even Chewy's tank, one 10-inch Super Red Dragon flower horn has pothos growing out of it, and for a long time I had a lot of rickia and duckweed, but the new filter is taking care of that stuff. That new filter is really good. Update coming soon on that filter, by the way. All right, enough babbling. The simple answer to the question, how many guppies can I put in a 10-gallon tank? There is no simple answer. I like to say, at a predetermined level of nitrate, I will change X amount of water in X amount of time. Again, the example is, I want to change 50% of my water when my nitrates reach 40 parts per million. However long that takes, that's how much water I will change and when I will change it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Also hit that notification bell, and check out michaelsfishroom.com. I'm not shipping right now, but you know, gift cards, You could check out Teespring and buy a t-shirt for one of your lovely, lovely family members or friends for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever you celebrate. So, hope you guys liked it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Peace. Hi, fishy folks. I already said hi, fishy folks. That was the intro. So at what level do you want to change water? That's what nitrate level. Do you want... I like to say, how much... At what point...